to a leader of the community and radio host, Charis Pretorius, joining us now. Charis, good afternoon, and thank you very much for your time. I see you've got your headphones on and you're sitting there in your studio. Thank you very much for your time. Welcome to my studio here at eNCA DSTV channel 403. Now, on a very serious note, how are people in Eldos coping with all these outages? Just put load shedding aside for a while. You know, just a few weeks ago, your substation caught fire, and the local Johannesburg authorities suspecting that the sabotage had something to do with it.
Good afternoon, Dan. Thank you so much for having me. Right now, there is sheer frustration. That is what the community of Eldorado Park is currently experiencing. Our biggest problem is the fact that you never know when the electricity is going to go off. The challenges that we face is not just the issue of the burning substation, but also cable theft. And that in itself is a scourge on our community at the moment. There's frustration. There is complete what is the word that I can use to describe what our people are going through at the moment? Discord when it comes to how they are feeling. They're feeling left out. They're feeling as if they are being marginalized yet again. Even though everyone has been on the ground trying to resolve this issue, it has been far too much for too long. And at the moment, we have load shedding.
You got load shedding on top of that outage. Just on that outage caused by the substation that caught fire, what's the update you as community leaders in Eldos are getting from City Power? Has the damage now been fully sorted out?
The unfortunate thing, Dan, is that it hasn't been resolved completely. They have subsequently discovered that a oil leak in substation 3, if I'm not mistaken, is probably one of the biggest problems that we are faced with at this point. So right now, apart from there having been the alleged sabotage, there is also now the issue with substation 3 leaking. So it is just really frustrating. It is from one day to another, we go into, okay, are we going to have electricity today? And if we do, how long are we going to have electricity for? Our councillors have on many an occasion tried to plea with City Power that we be exempted from our load shedding. But right now it is a case of issues such as this that puts us on the back foot yet again, even though the repairs have been completed.
Now, this must have a terrible impact on any business. I mean, the small business community, let alone other day-to-day operations. You're running a small shop. Besides being a community leader, you're a radio host. I mean, it must be the impact must be, just paint a picture for our viewers what kind of impact it would have on local business, for example, in Eldos.
It is completely crippling, Dan. It's crippling. It is debilitating. You know, people have small businesses and they are desperately trying for them to get onto a good footing, especially after COVID and how that had closed down many small businesses. So it is really, really hard. At the radio station as well, we have issues with regards to how do we get our message out to the community when we are experiencing the exact same problem that they have, where we have load shedding. I mean, your UPS and your backup only lasts for so long. And then, of course, you look at going without electricity between 5 and 11 days. It is ludicrous that we are expected to cope at this level.
Yeah, I drove through Eldos last Saturday. I was going to a funeral. I was in a funeral procession. I came through Pimville, Kliptown, made my way through Eldos, and the number of traffic lights which are off is just mind-boggling. Then I remembered that you have no power there. Forget load shedding. Now, if you can go for several days without power, Eldorado Park has battled with crime in the past and issues around drugs. Even a former president, Jacob Gedlehle Zuma, visited Eldos once, made promises to the people of Eldorado Park. Also, to protect yourselves, to keep yourself safe, becomes an issue when you're in the dark.
Absolutely. Eldorado Park has, and the leaders within the community have resorted to actually maintaining safety for ourselves. We have a unit that patrols every evening between 9 p.m. and 4 a.m. to ensure that our infrastructure, or the little infrastructure rather, that we have left is kept safe. We have on many an occasion had people actually shooting at the patrollers. So it's very dangerous. And these guys take it upon themselves to ensure that our infrastructure is kept safe. So it's we don't even know which is the lesser of the two evils at the moment. Is it the outages? Is it load shedding? Or is it the crime that is plaguing our community at the moment?
Finally, very briefly, before I let you go, Charis, City Power, what have they told you? The latest you've got, there's an oil leak in one of the substations, in a transmitter, one of the substations.
One of the transformers, yes.
Transformers, yeah. Rather.
So
yes.
One of the transformers has an oil leak. This is, of course, after many of our people had been without electricity for about 11 days. So that, and now it's compounded with us having an outage today, in particular between 8 and 12 o'clock. At the moment, some of Eldorado Park is still without electricity because there's a fluctuation, and of course we need to ensure that when the load is restored, that it is restored at a level where it will be sustainable for however long, or for however long it takes us to go back into load shedding.
Thank you very much, Charis Pretorius from Eldorado Park. She's a community leader and also a radio host, just giving us a sense what's life like on the ground as we speak in Eldorado Park. Very much in the news recently when that City Power, Johannesburg City Power substation caught fire, and the authorities, including the mayor, Dr. Mpopalatse, telling they suspect that there's sabotage involved, and still the problem has not yet been fully resolved. And then on top of that, now Eskom has brought on in the last week load shedding.